And we're going to turn now to more on yesterday's school shooting in Minneapolis.
Yeah, vigils were held in honor of the 8 and 10-year-olds killed in that shooting, hit by a spray of bullets when a shooter standing outside of the church opened fire through church windows.
All right, so it's a Catholic school and they have a mass, and this happened during that first mass of the new school year. 17 others were hurt in this gunfire needlessly, and we're just beginning to learn more about them. The attacker who died from the self-inflicted gunshot wound as well. Look, we know this hits everybody in this country, and it's going to hit you in different levels. If you're a parent, if you're from that area, if anyone in your family's been involved in a school shooting. Rebecca Jarvis is joining us live from Minneapolis. And Rebecca, I know that's your hometown. I know you have young kids, and I know how difficult it was for you to go this morning and tell this story, but you did it in such a heartfelt way on GMA. So good morning, and I just haven't been able to tell you that we love you and hug you, but we do, and there it is virtually.
Thank you. That really, truly, Sam, means so much. It touches me right in my heart. And as you say, New York City is my home, guys. There's no doubt about that. But Minneapolis, where I am standing right now, is my hometown. It is the place where I grew up. I went to school 5 minutes from here, lived about 10 minutes away from here, growing up in my young years. And this town has been shaken. It has been devastated. It is grieving this morning as they search for answers about this shooter.
This morning, the urgent hunt for a motive in Minneapolis after a lone shooter sprayed bullets into a church at Annunciation Catholic School, killing 2 children, ages 8 and 10, and injuring at least 17 others, mostly children.
This worship service was marking the first week of school. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible.
2 gunshot wounds, 2 patients with gunshot wounds to their head in front. There's also a critical patient in the rear of the church.
Police say the suspect, armed with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol, approached the side of the church at the beginning of Mass just before 8:30 a.m. Wednesday. The shooter firing dozens of rounds through the stained glass windows.
I heard something like really loud, like I thought it was fireworks in the church, and then I saw the shooting. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
All we hear is pow, pow, pow. And my classmates, some of my classmates thought it was confetti because they saw the glass from the stained glass windows flying. But right when I heard the shots, I knew I just needed to get down and try to keep everyone safe.
Young survivors recounting the horror. 10-year-old Weston says his friend jumped on top of him, potentially saving his life.
My friend got hit in the back, but I think now he's okay. It was right beside me. I was 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. I think I got gunpowder on my neck.
Students say their teachers immediately leapt into action, sheltering them underneath pews and hiding them throughout the school. First responders on the scene within minutes, as panicked parents and loved ones did the same, desperate to reunite with the pre-K through 8th grade students. Authorities say the shooter, identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, born Robert Westman, died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound near the rear of the church. And we're learning the assailant had ties with the church. Police say they believe the shooter attended the school, and according to an online post from the church, the suspect's mother worked there as recently as 2021. According to investigators, the suspect recently and legally purchased the weapons used during the assault. Officers searching 3 nearby residences they say are related to the shooter.
Additional firearms are being recovered from those 3 residential locations as we speak. We are also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings. That content has since been taken down.
The Minneapolis mayor calling for more action beyond thoughts and prayers.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school.
literally praying. Unthinkable what these young children witnessed and experienced, things no one should ever have to. The school, which is behind me, is going to be shut down until further notice. They'll be meeting to discuss that this weekend. And you can see some of this memorial. People have been streaming through all morning, leaving flowers. There's a teddy bear, and there are 2 crosses for those 2 children, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, who were killed in this attack, guys.
It is just heartbreaking. I know it's hard for you, Rebecca, as well, since you are from that area. It's really hard for everyone in America to witness all of these shootings. We appreciate your reporting. Thank you so much. We want to bring in ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky. Aaron, you are going deeper into the investigation and finding out what the authorities know. We heard from Rebecca that investigators are still combing through the evidence. They've made some connection to some homes connected to the suspect.
In the Minneapolis area, also his mother's believed to live in Florida. And a key question, Lauren, is whether any of the family members knew anything or had any inkling in advance. Was there any way that this possibly could have been stopped? Because among the videotaped, what police called manifesto, was this handwritten, rather coherent and cogent letter to the shooter's family that indicated the shooter had been thinking about this for some time and was going to do something that would cause harm to both that family and so many others. Did anyone have any way they could have interceded?
It was interesting because reading some parts of the manifesto and seeing the videos and the things that he wrote onto the magazines, it seems like there's a bunch of different motives here. Have they been able to pin down an exact motive?
They have not, and that's one of the things they're trying to figure out. But the writings on the guns and ammunition indicate an obsession with prior mass shootings. There are names of other mass shooters. There's an instruction to kill President Trump. There's invective against Israel and Jews. There's racial statements, nihilistic statements. The portrait is of a deeply, deeply disturbed individual, born Robert and changed legally to Robin. The authorities are looking into why the individual went to court to legally change name and identify as a female, and anything else in that suspect's background.
We've got the story, we've got the investigation. To me, there's also an overarching conversation about gun violence and about our children being open and just wide open to gun violence. So you said something on Good Morning America today. The school year starting the same way the last one ended, with the sound of gunfire on a school campus. And if that isn't chilling to us, I just don't understand how we can make it as important as it is. So how much gun violence are our children open to? It's all I can say, open to in this country.
It's now a feature of American life on school campuses. The last school year ended in the spring with a shooting at Florida State University that killed 2 people. And this year begins with Minneapolis that killed 2 people. Sam, there is, according to Everytown for Gun Safety, that tracks numbers like this, a shooting on school grounds in 2025. There have been more than 90 of them. So that's on average twice a week, gunfire on school grounds. And the folks at Johns Hopkins say it's gun violence now, not car crashes, not cancer, not anything else, but gun violence. That's the leading cause of death for children and teens in America.
That is an epidemic.
It's an epidemic. It's also one the country does not confront, and whether that's political or societal, but it exists, and it's become a reality for American children.
Of course, we think of children, they are defenseless. We think of people in a church, they are also defenseless. They are there praying. These are soft targets. What is being done in communities to ensure that these people are kept safe?
Well, in some cases, school districts are hardening the soft targets. There's no panacea, because we've seen, like in Uvalde, even districts that have taken steps and installed things that are supposed to keep kids safe, they don't necessarily work, or they're subject to human frailty, and there is no one fail-safe, but the school districts around the country are grappling with it in a lot of different ways, and taking note of what happened in Minneapolis. We've seen right here in the area, schools, churches already take steps to make sure people feel as safe as possible getting back to school.
Right.
It's interesting. You know, we talk about often why people aren't having kids, are afraid to have children. It's when we talk about stuff like this, the way as a country, the society is changing. It's when you think about bringing more kids into the world, it's scary for people. As a young new parent, I'm speaking from that experience. You're speaking
because you just had a baby.
We just had a kid, and we
understand.
think about this stuff. When, you know, when you do these kind of stories, Aaron, we appreciate your reporting, and we'll continue to check in with you throughout the day.
Thanks, guys.